Kelsey. This is my channel, The Fancy Hat Lady Reads. I'm wearing one of my fancy booktube hats. I know I am overdue to bring you some of my sort of regularly scheduled, very substantive videos. My December wrap-up, for example, my 5-star reads of 2017. But I haven't had time to film really long meaty videos recently, so hopefully those will happen later this week. But for now, I've been meaning to do a video where I show you what I have out from the library, because I don't haul these books. They're sitting around for a long time, and sometimes I'm not sure exactly what I want to prioritize. It would be good to get some feedback. Some of these I've had out for a while, some of them I've renewed multiple times, some of them I planned to check out and read, and some of them were impulse checkouts. Some of them may end up going back to the library unread if I am not able to read them by the time I run out of renewals or there are other holds on them. But these are just what I have sitting out from the library right now. I had gotten down to having very few library books out, like in November, and then around the end of November, beginning of December, I was like, hey, I have no library books, I can get lots of library books, and then I got this stack of them, and I haven't been reading them. So the first library book that I'm reading right now is the one that I've renewed the most. It is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie, Leigh. This is a young adult historical romp that was released in 2017 that's gotten a whole ton of buzz, and I'm actually rather close to the end, so I'll be finishing this very soon. I have one other YA book out right now that is less high priority for me, and that is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. This is a collection of sort of fairy tale stories set in her Grishaverse. The reason that I'm saying this is kind of less high priority for me is just because I have a lot of other short story collections, specifically fairy tale-ish short story collections, that I'm trying to read right now that are books that I own, that I care a bit more about. But I do eventually want to read this, whether or not I read it before I return this copy to the library or not. I do intend to eventually read this book. I have one 2017 middle grade book out from the library that I've heard good things about and have had recommended to me, and this is The Wonderling by Mira Bartók. It looks very whimsical. This is a contender to make it onto my TBR for the Unicorn Readathon coming up at the beginning of next month. I think it's about this fox boy who's at an orphanage for magical strange creatures of some sort. I have one book out from the library right now that has been on my long ongoing, library TBR list and has come near the top of my library TBR, so it's in my main TBR queue right now that I'll hopefully be reading sometime soon-ish. That is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. This is one of those books that I've been meaning to read for a really long time, and it has been patiently waiting its turn on my TBR. But I've finally got it from the library. This is an alt history, Regency, historical fantasy, which is exactly the sort of thing I usually enjoy. I've also got Signal to Noise by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. This is the book of hers that I'm most interested in reading next. It's a magical realism novel that takes place in Mexico City. I think it takes place in 2 different time periods and involves music in some way. Then I have Kingfisher by Patricia McKillip, which is her most recent novel. And this was at my small branch, so I grabbed it. I don't actually know a whole ton about this, but I want to read all of McKillip's books, and this is one I don't see myself purchasing anytime soon. Another one that I picked up because I saw it at my branch was A Feast of Sorrows by Angela Slatter. This is a collection of her short stories that are all sort of fairy tale-ish. So again, another short story collection that's fairy tale-ish and lower priority because there are a bunch of collections like this that I own that I want to read sooner. But I picked this up after reading Of Sorrow and Such, which was her novella, and really liking it. And I also know that I have read and liked at least one of the stories that is in this collection before. And then the last things I have out from the library right now are 4 graphic novels. And part of why I wanted to do this video is because 3 of these graphic novels I kind of forgot that I had out, and they should have been in my last TBR video because I'm gonna read them like maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but like I'm literally about to read these, and that is because they are all like 2017 releases, and it is BookTube SFF Awards time, and I haven't read lots of graphic novel things that were released in 2017, and I want to have some things that I've read. So the first is Spell on Wheels. This is by Kate Leth, Megan Levens, and Marissa Louise. I think this is a contemporary story with, you know, these witches on some sort of adventure. I think there is queer representation of some sort in this, and I've heard very good things. And I don't know if this is a standalone or if it's going to be the first volume in a series. We shall see when I read it. And then the next 2 that are 2017 releases are actually like kids or middle grade graphic novels. I've discovered that I really like kids graphic novels, like kind of better than adult graphic novels. The first is the Tea Dragon Society, which, like, Tea Dragon Society. So this could also be a contender for the Unicorn Readathon if I don't get it read by the end of this month. But it's very tempting to me right now. I kind of just want to pick this up and read it. This is about, you know, a couple little girls and their tea dragons. This is by Katie O'Neill, and I am pretty sure it is a standalone. And then the next one is Castle in the Stars, The Space Race of 1869, Book 1 by Alex Alice. I believe this is translated from French, so this isn't an original 2017 release. It was just translated into English in 2017. The art, though, like, is gorgeous looking, this pastelish look, and I think it is steampunk, and I am all about that. And then the last graphic novel I've had out for a while, and it's one that Goodreads recommends to me on a regular basis, and it's super short, and it's a kid's graphic novel, so I picked it up from the library a long time ago, and then I keep forgetting that I have it. And this is The Secret of the Stone Frog by David Nytra, Nytra. And I don't really know what this is about, but it's got this black and white art that looks like, you know, sort of weird and strange and wacky and whimsical. And it's a kid's graphic novel, but this one is not one of those new releases that I'm prioritizing. So sorry I don't have like reviews and wrap-ups and best of the year lists at the moment. I just haven't had so much time to film those longer videos of late. And I feel like this is sort of filler content, but hopefully still worthwhile, because I really do want to know if there are any of these that I should make sure that I need to read before I have to return them. Anyhow, here we go. These are all the books. I hope you're having a nice day. That is all. Bye for now.